Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the High Ticket Coaching and Consultant Strategy and Growth Show. Now, if you're watching this interview anywhere else but within our private community called High Ticket Client Attraction Insider Circle, definitely come check us out. We'd definitely love to have you. That community was put together specifically for coaches, consultants, and service providers who are serious about getting up to that 6 and that 7-figure level. So if that's you, definitely come check us out on our Facebook. Now, today I want to introduce you to one of the members of the community, Chris Wilson. Welcome, Chris.
Good morning.
Awesome. Great having you here. So tell us, Chris, what is that you do?
I'm the National Sales Director for a manufacturer of prosthetic devices that are used by the amputee community, people that lose a lower extremity limb, mainly diabetic, some traumatic, some from cancer, and then some from obviously the conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So what got you into this line of work?
Well, I've been in medical sales for 25 years, and I spent the last decade working in the field of prosthetics, just through some relationships and some changes. You know, the days of Obamacare were a bit of an earthquake in medical sales, and you had to quickly jump to get over the cracks. But I absolutely love the area of prosthetics. There's so much patient interaction. And you get to, every single day, go home at night knowing that you help someone walk again, and that makes your pillow very soft.
Yeah, I love it. And you said you've been doing it for about 25 years.
Yeah, I got into sales. Actually, I graduated from college in December of '93, and I had my first sales job in January of '94.
Awesome. So I guess you always been in sales, right?
Yes, sales and sales leadership. Yes, sir.
Awesome. So question now becomes where you, based on what you got going on, what are you currently working towards? What are your priorities at the moment?
My priorities at the moment are, we had to furlough about a third of our company in April, unfortunately. This situation nationwide has affected just about every business, and we did have to furlough some people. We have about 150 employees worldwide. However, we were the only company in our space that did not furlough a single salesperson, because I was adamant that Robert Frost said that the best way out of something is through. And I said to the executive team, look, the fastest way out of this is for us to grow revenue. And the fastest way to grow revenue is to make sure we have as many feet on the street. And it will be my mission and my duty to make sure that the sales team takes this personal. And we are on a mission every single day. So my mission today is top line revenue, and asking for the business and helping customers grow through this situation. And it comes down to mindset. Most of our customers understand that they have to change the way they do business. We have to change the way we sell. They have to change the way they do business if we are going to come through this.
Yeah, I love that saying you said. The best way out of a tough situation is to go right through it, right? Because I believe that most individuals, when things do get tough, the first thing they try to do is either try to look for the easy way, or they try to run away from the problem, versus saying, hey, the best way if you really want to get it is to go through, right?
Right. Well, when I was in the Marine Corps Reserve, and I was going through my infantry training and all that, we were trained early on that if you get into an ambush, you assault through the ambush. You go through it. You don't back up. You don't go left. You don't go right, because there's just more people that are going to get killed. So you assault through it. That's the fastest way, and the way that you get the least people injured or so forth. So that's our mission here, is just, we got to get through this, and we got to go forward.
Love it. Awesome. Love it. Oh, I guess thank you for your service as well too. Yeah, I was in I joined back in 2004. Got out in 2013. So I'm a little bit newer, but yeah, I guess we've definitely been down the same path, right?
Yeah. We've had to eat things that most people would shiver, right? Yeah.
Love it. Awesome. So I guess the question becomes, because you're also a coach as well too, right?
Yes, sir.
So what got you interested in coaching?
Well, over the years, I've seen a growing power of authority, but I think the past few months as a nation, we are seeing there's a lot of authority out there. There's very little leadership. They're not the same. Someone could be an authority and not a leader. and someone can be a leader but not have authority. Everything, John Maxwell says, everything rises and falls on leadership. And the law of the lid is a concept that Maxwell talks about a lot, that if you are put into a position of leadership, and I was promoted in the beginning of 2018 to the national sales director position. I was promoted from within. I was in sales and then advanced into this level where now I'm responsible for the entire sales force. I know that I have to, the law of the lid is the people that I am in charge of, they can only rise as high as I rise in my training, in my ability, and my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the great book, you know, Mindset by Carol Dweck, you either have a growth mindset or you have a fixed mindset. And the growth mindset is the way that we are going to, again, grow through and get through things. And leadership is essential right now. Now more than ever. It's always been important, but now more than ever, because the chaos and the randomness and you know, the fear of the unknown, people are going to be looking for who can lead me through this. And there will be people out there that think they're leaders because they have the authority, but you and I will both see, you know, that's not really the case all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, all leaders true leaders start with the humility and servant attitude. You know, I am always struck by the example given in the New Testament, regardless of your faith. But in the New Testament, when we read the story of the Last Supper, the very first thing that Jesus did was he brought all the disciples in for dinner and he washed their feet. And you can imagine 2,000 years ago how dirty the streets were in Jerusalem and what was in those streets. And most people were without shoes. I mean, shoes were a luxury 2,000 years ago. And he washed their feet, including Judas's feet, knowing what he was going to do later. So if you're going to be a true leader, you must start with a servant attitude first. And we really, in humility. And I just think there's a gap right now, again, between authority and leadership and humility and the servant attitude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is so powerful. And that's one of the reasons, because when I think about what I do today as well, too, because ultimately what we do, I'm more into marketing and helping individuals, especially coaches, consultants, and service providers, ultimately basically get more clients, get paid what they're worth, and all those different things online. And one of the reasons I decided to help those individuals specifically is because I just saw that as a coach, right, as someone who sees better, who sees a way that they could help progress, not just themselves, their families, but just society on a whole. That's one of the things it fascinates me so much, because it just shows me, as you said, servant leadership, which is, again, giving up your needs, giving up what you wanted to do, say, okay, let me figure out how can I not just think about me and what I want, but how do I make the whole world, the whole society as a whole better, right? That's so powerful. Right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, I love it. And John Maxwell, yeah, he definitely has some good stuff as well. So I think I ran into his book, what is it, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership or something? I think that's what it's called. But I ran into his when I was kind of struggling in my business. And one of the concepts, I can't remember exactly which one it was, but it was one of the ones where he talked about like when a company is having issues, right? One of the first things they do is they fire the CEO. They don't go sit down and say, ask questions. Why do you think the case is? Why do you think things aren't working out? All of these different things. They just go in and just, hey, it's not working. You're gone. And they bring in a new one. And when I was having a kind of like a tough time in my business, that's definitely one of the things that helped me out a lot too, because I realized that for myself, like I always came from the place of, okay, I just knew I had all the answers, but it got to a point where the answers I had, they weren't the answers that would need to get the results. And some I had to do was say, when I read that chapter, when I was like, man, this is exactly what's the situation going on right here. I realized, okay, I got to fire myself, which is basically put myself aside and say, okay, let's figure out someone else on the team who could be more equipped to solve that problem, and then have them take the reins, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Humility, set the ego is the enemy, right?
Mm-hmm.
so much to be. This goes back to the days of like Marcus Aurelius and the meditations, and it's a timeless lesson that it ain't about you, and we're here. I love that. Well, we need to do this and this and this to be happy, and the new age idea of happy. I'm always, I guess my grounding and humility is that, Ralph Waldo Emerson said that the purpose of life is not to be happy. The purpose of life is to be useful, to be humble, to be compassionate, that it has made a difference that you have lived and lived well. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the grounding. And, I started 2020 off with, I was a altruistic kidney donor on January 2nd. My kidney went to someone in Wisconsin. That's all I know. I was healthy enough to do it. Someone in my family received a kidney from a stranger, so I paid it forward. And to this day, 153 days later, I don't know the name of the person. I don't know their race. I don't know their gender. I don't know their politics. But I did it because it was the right thing to do. And I did it so my kids and maybe my grandkids one day will see that the giver receives just as much as the receiver, and things like this. And if you're going to, as a leader, you can teach what you know, or you can teach what you live. And that's what I try to do.
Yeah, love it. So question becomes so as you've gone on your journey, right? Because it definitely seems like you've done a lot of reading, research, all these different things as well too. So have you always been into personal development while you were younger and stuff like that? Have you always been into it?
I would say yes. I've always been someone that sought out the next challenge, and the motivation was even from being a young boy that I don't think you're going to be able to do that. And then, well, okay, fine. I'll show you. I'll prove you wrong. So, yes, from college to the Marine Corps to getting into, I remember being in college and someone's made a comment about, sales, man, that's got to be like the hardest job in the world. All the rejection and people just no every day. And that was just sort of, well, fine. If it's the hardest in the world, I want to try it. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to personal development, again, if you have a growth mindset, if you have a humble, hungry but humble attitude, you'll always have the attitude of, I can get a little bit better today. My enemy is the Chris I can be tomorrow, and to improve a little bit every day.
Yeah, awesome. So what would you say is I know there's several different books, right? So, but in terms of based on when you were first kind of getting on your journey, was there any like maybe books or piece of advice you got that kind of said, okay, that's a piece that kind of made everything take off for you when you were first getting started?
I think a book that is not really well known, that sort of opened my eyes a long time ago. And I apologize, I can't think of the author, but the title of the book is The Score Takes Care of Itself. Mm-hmm. And it is a book all about Bill Walsh. And if anyone is watching this and knows the history of the NFL and professional football and the San Francisco 49ers, when Bill Walsh, it was his very first head coaching job in the NFL, he took over the San Francisco 49ers in 1978, and they were a joke. They had won, I think, 4 games in the past 2 seasons combined. They had no first-round draft picks. They were the basement. 10 years later, the San Francisco 49ers under Bill Walsh had won 3 Super Bowls in 75% of the games he coached. How? The culture. And that book is all about, and the title of the book, The Score Will Take Care of Itself, or The Score Takes Care of Itself, was a phrase Bill Walsh used all the time. And it was his mantra that, look, if we have the right culture in this organization, and the book goes through the little things he did to make sure that the culture of the organization changed first, the score will take care of itself. Bill Walsh was the very first NFL head coach to hire a sports psychologist who actually interviewed potential draft picks before they made their final decision. Bill Walsh was not so concerned about their 40 time and how much they could bench press and all the other physical attributes. He wanted to make sure that their personality would fit the San Francisco 49ers culture. So that was a book that sort of opened my eyes to that. Spreadsheets and Microsoft Excel and the data and the numbers, important. Data points are important, but culture trumps everything.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's some powerful stuff too, and that's one thing I'm learning as well too, because we're at the place where we're growing pretty fast as well too, and I've been having to bring in more team members. And my biggest thing, because when I was first getting started with just hiring, I realized one of the things I did was, it was kind of like, because at first I started off just bringing in freelancers and stuff like that, so it felt like we were kind of disconnected, like no one knew what was going on, everything came through me. And I realized like that's going to be an issue. But then when I started like introducing each person to like connecting the whole team and trying more come from a place of not just the to-dos, but actually making sure it's like there's a saying that says 1+1. There's a point where 1+1=2, but there's another point where 1+1=11, which is when you bring two superstars together, all of a sudden the things they're able to achieve is just astronomical, right? And
Absolutely.
I definitely believe, yeah, the score, taking care of yourself, finding these right people, whether it's the personality, the traits, all these different things, the growth mindset, and bring all these individuals together. You could definitely achieve some amazing things together, right? Love it.
No question.
Yeah. So question for you in terms of what skill would you say you've mastered over your life, or you've practiced quite a bit, that you'd say, okay, based on us looking at you today, we could say, oh, so that's one of the things that you do, that was one of the skills that you have that's really gotten you to your level of success today.
Wow. Mastered. Wow. I don't know if I've mastered anything yet, but I maybe have become very proficient at walking into a customer. Now that I'm working with other sales reps, I'm constantly walking into a customer's business that I've never met them. I don't know. It's a totally new environment, but maybe mastering the ability to, I'm very comfortable in my skin. And I can, within a few minutes, build a relationship, at least the level one. And I always try to ask them the same three questions. I ask them, what got you into this business? And then after they tell me their story, I'll ask them, what keeps you in this business? And then they talk about their current situation. And then I ask, what's next for your business? And I think those three questions, and being genuinely curious, I think that's another skill set that we just don't have enough of. And I think I've been blessed to have a lot of that. But being genuinely and sincerely curious and asking those three questions and being comfortable and at ease and listening, that'll help you go a long way.
Mm-hmm. Love it. So I got a question for you. What got you into this business?
I come from a family that is, in the medical area. I was raised by a nurse. My mom retired at the age of 70 after 52 years of nursing. She graduated from high school on a Saturday. On a Monday, she got a job as a candy striper, and she did all kinds of nursing for, again, 52 years. My aunt is a nurse anesthetist. My cousin is a trauma surgeon. My sister is an athletic trainer. So being around the medical world was very, and the sometimes the graphic dinner conversations as a boy, I'm like, okay, well, don't get sick over that. They're talking about blood and bile and all that. But I just felt that it was just part of my duty to kind of follow that, and helping others. I got into working at a plasma center, and one of the people got me into they said, hey, there's this company that's looking for a sales rep. And I was kind of like, yeah, okay, fine. I'll give it a try. I hear it's a challenge, but that was, 25 years ago. And I've been in medical sales ever since. And I've had great experiences where I've been able to do triathlons with amputees, Tough Mudder races with amputees. I probably, because of my background, I probably swing to the, I won't hold a door open for an amputee or someone in a wheelchair unless they ask. I refute, because I've been around this industry long enough to know that the absolute worst thing you can do is pity someone. So, I just love the fact that I get to see every day help someone walk again. And a lot of what we do in sales, and especially medical sales and in prosthetics, is psychological. Convincing someone that no, you can do this, and you can get some of your freedom back. And it might be something as simple as a 78-year-old grandmother being able to walk in the park with her husband and not be in a wheelchair. Or it might be a 24-year-old who wants to run a marathon that unfortunately lost their limb in an accident, and they want to get back. So that's what I do.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. Awesome. So, what keeps you in this business? Pretty good questions, right?
Yeah. What keeps me in this business is, well, the demographics are in our favor, unfortunately. The number of diabetics in America continue to explode. There's about 200,000 new amputees every year, and 70% to 75% are diabetic. So there will not be any shortage, unfortunately. And unfortunately, the shutdowns and stay-home orders and all that stuff for the last 3 months, I've talked with many people in this industry that I know and I'm close with. And, we all, obviously this is anecdotal, but we feel there's going to be more diabetics and more amputations, unfortunately, because of all this, because they've been sitting at home and not really exercising and so forth. So it's sad. But what keeps me in this business is I know that that's a reality. And I know that my company and the people in our culture, we can help a lot of people through it. And we come at it with the attitude of like, look, we're here to help, and we're in a hurry to help. And we want to get patients back to the mobility that they can expect. And that's what we do every single day. And I'm charged with, again, the revenue for sales in the United States. So, and right now with we're hoping, of course, hope's not a strategy, but we're hoping that May was the valley, and now we've got some ground to catch up. And we have, as a company, we've had 3 record-breaking sales years. We've exceeded our quota from a national sales standpoint for 3 consecutive years, and we're on fire to do it again for 2020.
Love it. That's some powerful stuff. So I know we're getting short on time here, but I guess the final question is, what's next for the business in terms of, as far as whether it's people you want to attract, the mission, what you want to get out to the audience? What's next? What are you saying?
What's next is that we continue to provide the revenue that our company needs to innovate and develop the next, what's over the horizon, the next product, the next, thankfully, especially the field of prosthetics, is extremely patient-driven industry. You understand, as opposed to maybe other areas of medical where a patient, I have to go see this surgeon and he's or she is going to use this hip implant, and I really don't have any say in the matter. Prosthetics, totally upside down. Someone that's lost their limb for whatever reason, they can go anywhere they want, and within reason, pretty much get whatever technology they want. So it's very patient-driven, it's very consumer-driven, which is great because it creates more competition. And the only way you get a better product is through competition. So what is next for our business is we must hit that top-line revenue goal so we can have the resources to continue to innovate and stay ahead of patient expectations and the industry's expectations. And all the while focusing on that it's the culture, not just the numbers and spreadsheets and so forth that will get us there. And my team has been through, it's a tree with the deepest roots that survives the forest fire. And my team's been through 3 years of quite a bit of adversity and challenges and changes. So we're ready. This, when it comes to whatever's going on around us and the distractions, our attitude on the conference calls is like, it's Tuesday, next. So that's just who we are.
Yeah, love it. Awesome. So if someone wanted to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to connect?
I have a personal Facebook page, email. I can give you my cell number. I'm, at your disposal. So I, at my age, approaching the next decade of my 50s, I know that maybe I have something to give back and maybe prevent some of the, if I could talk to the 22-year-old Chris and maybe keep them from stepping in some potholes that I stepped in across the last 25 years. So happy to do that.
Awesome. Love it, guys. And so, guys, if you're watching this on the live or the replay, I'll definitely have all of Chris's links right either above or below this video. So you should be able to click right through and get connected right to him. Awesome, Chris. Well, hey, man, thank you so much for making the time to be here with us today. Really, really appreciate it. Do you have any final thoughts before we end here?
Just remember to whatever's going on around you, again, it's going to come down to mindset. And I know that what we see on the news, that there's some anger. Just remember that you can be surrounded by hate, but not be hateful. And being kind is not the same as being weak. So.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks again, Chris, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Awesome.